Hi, it's Alex here from Frog Lane Studio, where we provide free hacks, hints, tips and tricks to ease your hobby woes. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button, and if you want to check out any of the additional content we've got, as always, links to which are just down below. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out step by step how to paint these amazing heads for your McFarlane figures. We're going to be going through some of the theory behind the colour choices that we make, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you where you can get your hands on these specific models or download them for yourself so that you can paint them at home. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. Now with the rise of the accessory market for these McFarlane figures, there are loads of different options out there available on sites like Thingiverse to download and print yourself or to get other people to paint them too. These heads are large enough that the standard way we paint 28mm models won't actually work. That being, the base coat, layers, washes, and then the highlights. So this is because the area is too large for the washes to work, and the large adjustments between the colours are going to show up so much, making our battle sister look more like a clown and less like a warrior of the Emperor. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's just not the look that we're going for. So to give you some theory behind what we're looking at here, under normal circumstances with the 28mm heads, you're only able to paint the very top layer of the skin. And if you're lucky, be able to project highlights onto that. With these larger models, what it enables us to do with glazes is to add in several layers underneath that skin. So we're able to highlight areas where blood vessels are raised up. In terms of the eyes, we're able to actually paint the darkened red underneath them, the cherry red of the lips. So we're not creating a hyper-realistic face here. Instead, what we're doing is capturing more of that depth than you would normally be able to do with the 28mm models. Now to go about painting them, I did start off by undercoating them with a grey and then zenithal primed with a white. That just gives a nice dark shadow on the underside of these models. So with all that being said, it's on to step by step for the skin tone. So step number one was the base tone. I mixed up Kislev flesh with a little bit of rat skin flesh and applied a thin layer of the mixed base tone over the entire skin, repeating that as necessary until the coverage was crisp and even. So next up is the shadow tone. So I mixed up a little bit of scrag brown into the Kislev flesh, and once the base coat was dry, I applied this over all the areas that the shadows should be. So you're looking at underneath the eyes, underneath the chin, underneath the ears, inside the ears, anywhere that's going to be catching shadow. So it's really important with this just to be applying the smallest amount. You don't want to be applying too much, and it's thin layers, thin glazes that go over the top. So now the main face tone was painted, it was time we moved on to the eyes and the lips. I painted both of these with a mixture of rat skin flesh and evil sun scarlet because both of these areas have a lot of blood going to them and we want that red hue to show through underneath the paint. For the lips, I added a little bit more evil sun scarlet each time just to give that come kiss me but I'll shoot you look. Now we go on to the blush. So this is step number 3. This is using pure Kislev flesh and the smallest amount of Evil Sun Scarlet. Again, we aren't looking for clown makeup here, but just subtle shifts in the hues caused by the blood vessels under the skin. So I work from reference photos here just to find where to add that blush. And these areas tend to be the cheekbones, the forehead, the chin, ears, tip of the nose, and sometimes the eyelids as well. So the final stage was to add the highlights in. So this is anywhere that catches the light. This was pure Kislev, thinned down to give the subtlest of glazes across the tip of the nose, the cheeks and the eyelids, just to define these a little bit more. So the eyes themselves were painted with Ulthuan Grey Air. Now this is a super thin white that we can build up that milky hue gradually over several layers, working into the center and just leaving the red showing round the edges. If you look in the mirror, you'll be able to see the red underneath your eyes. So for the pupils, I chose Cantor Blue as my mid-tone. So I first added in black into there to paint the irises as a whole to give a really nice dark blue. And then I added Deepkin Flesh into that mix, highlighting it and gradually creating smaller circles into the center. Once the iris was completed, it was then just a case of adding pure black for the pupil. You can make these as big or as small as you want. Once we'd got the skin done, it was then time to move on to the hair. Now, the hair itself, I'm not going to go into too much detail with you guys, but it was Kislev flesh and Abaddon black as the base coat that we were looking for. And then using Deepkin flesh just to increase that highlight. I didn't want to go with pure black and pure white because hair itself isn't pure black or pure white or grey. There are mixtures in there. And so that's what we were looking for. So with the Deepkin flesh, the Kislev flesh and the Abaddon black, we were able to get some really nice tonal variances into that grey. Just to finish the whole model off and tie it all together. There we go then, guys. That's how I went about creating these Bigetcha heads. Now, if you want to get your hands on them, they are available on eBay. But if you don't want to pay for these exact ones, or you want to make your own, don't worry, we've got you covered. Simply follow the links down below to the McFarlane Facebook group. On there you'll find all of the STL files that we've used in this video and all of the support needed to create your own customs. I'd also like to take the time to mention as well that the channel does have a Patreon page. We don't hide anything behind a paywall, and we believe that knowledge is free here at Frog Lane Studio. So if you have liked what we're doing and you would like to support us, then you can sign up for the Patreon. I couldn't do these videos without the support of the Frog Lane family, so thank you so much, guys. Thanks also to you guys as well for watching. Take care, stay safe, and may your brushes always be pointed. To download and print yourself or to get other people to paint them too. It's raining, it's pouring, oh, it's terrible.